What's up, everyone? Jimmy Faluca reporting once again with my good friend Frank. Frank, how you doing, buddy?
Excellent, James.
All right, we're going to get started with our program, and a lot has happened since we last met, Frank. Money in the Bank and Battleground have passed us. We are currently in John Cena's 15th world title reign, and I have to say tonight was the first night in weeks that I have watched Monday Night Raw, and I have to say it was a good show tonight. I've missed out on a lot that's gone on because personally I'm very discontented with the fact that John Cena won the belt again, and I felt the only way I could rebel is by not watching Raw. And I breezed through Battleground, which really wasn't that good of a show. I have to say, Money in the Bank, the Money in the Bank contract ladder match was pretty fun to watch, I have to say. And, John Cena winning the title again is an eye roller for me. How about you?
Yeah, we haven't really missed too much the last few weeks. I gotta say, I've been watching Raw the last few weeks, and fast forward, it's late out. I guess it's the summertime, and they really don't want to put out anything too good. But it's been really down in the last few weeks.
No, I got what you're saying. It seems like they brought their big guns out tonight. Battleground. One of the things I will say that I was a little discontented about with Battleground was that they advertised for weeks that Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins were going to finally go at it, and then the match never even took place. To me, as far as I'm concerned, that's false advertising from where I sit. I think a lot of people are just anxious to see the match. Obviously, it's going to happen at SummerSlam, but I felt that advertising the match and never even letting it take place was kind of a bummer, for the fans that, because as hard as it may be to believe, there may have been people that paid to see that match. What do you think?
Probably, but I think they just did it as a way to build it up even more to SummerSlam. They really want to make SummerSlam their a home run show. And, I guess because Dean Ambrose did show up, you can't consider it false advertising. And I think it was just another way to push his character as the fringe lunatic. And
Lunatic Fringe, yeah.
Lunatic Fringe, and he could pop up from anywhere, and he's going to terrorize.
Well, I'll tell you, and maybe I'm wrong, but from the way I've seen it, I think Dean Ambrose is the most over out of all three Shield members right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's his character. Actually, at the pay-per-view, that segment where he popped out of the car, that was talked about a lot, And,
I thought he was the star of Battleground, in my opinion.
Yeah, that segment was one of the highlights, And
He and Rollins stole the show 2 pay-per-views in a row. At Money in the Bank, their altercations in the ladder match was great. At Battleground, they had their little stint in the show was the best part of the show. And I'm expecting them to steal the show at SummerSlam. From where I said, now we'll get into that. I'm gonna start with the heavy hitters. The Beast Incarnate is back. Brock Lesnar has returned.
I think this is ahead of schedule, because of Daniel Bryan's injury, and they really need something. Like I said, they really need a home run at SummerSlam.
Well, everyone knows my personal opinion on Brock Lesnar. I'm a little sore. I have no shame in saying I'm a little sore on the fact that he ended The Undertaker's undefeated streak. We've had to hear it every week from Paul Heyman relentlessly since then. And they keep name-dropping The Undertaker in other ways about how he got carried out and all that. It makes me think that at some point he's going to come back. I don't think that they would continue to talk about how we haven't heard from The Undertaker since, unless something was going to happen with him. I think eventually he will come back, whether it's against Lesnar or Sting. That remains to be seen. I have my theories. What do you have to say on that?
Well, they have to touch on, they have to acknowledge The Undertaker somehow, some way. And like I said, Lesnar ending the streak, there's going to be a big payoff sooner than later,
Well, we'll see what happens with that. Brock Lesnar is going to be challenging for the heavyweight championship of the world at SummerSlam against John Cena. And I'll tell you something, Frank. It's amazing to me, and to me this is, and look, I'm not complaining one bit. I'm just making statements because I've learned that complaining, you get labeled. If you complain about pro wrestling, you get labeled. So, honestly, I'd much rather watch the show, say what I have to say, and not get labeled for it, so I'm just going to make statements. I find it amazing that the fans hate John Cena so much that they are going to cheer the guy that ended The Undertaker. Don't you find that to be a little bit much?
I think right now they would cheer anybody against Cena.
But isn't that a bad thing that your ultimate hero gets treated that way? I mean, I'm starting to feel sorry for the guy. Not that I want him to win. I don't want him to win nothing. I think that the guy's had enough. I think if his career ended tomorrow, he would have a big Hall of Fame celebration. The guy's had a career that most people could only dream of. But to me, I find it astounding that the fans hate him so much that they will cheer the guy that broke the streak over him. To me, I find that incredible.
Well, if you watched Raw tonight...
which I did.
Yeah, he definitely acknowledged that the fans, a lot of the fans don't like him. And during his promo, the fans were, before Heyman came out, the fans were trolling him with the what? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard the whole thing. And the funny thing is, a lot of people will turn around and say that only 10% of the audience hates John Cena. Do you think that that's true?
No, I think I don't really think they hate him.
They're discontented with his character, I think is the best way to put it.
Right. And if you notice, against Cesaro tonight, they really broke a little, not off the script, but they mentioned, Cesaro's promo mentioned that he can't wrestle, he's a walking bread.
I'll tell you something, Cesaro caught me off guard coming out. I thought that the match he had with John Cena tonight was great. I enjoyed it, but I hope he doesn't get the same treatment that others have had after losing to him, Dolph Ziggler, and guys like Damian Sandow. I think that Cesaro is too good to just be completely, beaten time and time again. I think that the guy's a main eventer. He's got the strength factor. The crowd's into his moves, and
I think he's capable of going toe to toe with anybody.
Absolutely.
And, carrying out a good match. And one more thing, if you noticed what that the little dig at Cena can't wrestle, and if you notice, he did some moves out of his moveset, outside of his moveset. And I think maybe possibly I was thinking maybe this is a way that they might want to tweak his character by him changing up his moves a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you one thing right now. John Cena should never do a Hurricane Rana ever again, because that was hard to watch. Well, that's one match that's going to be taking place at SummerSlam, which is Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. And we'll get right into our prediction with that. I'm going with Brock Lesnar. There's no way he's losing. He just beat the streak. Brock Lesnar's going to go all the way through WrestleMania unbeaten, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't see. It wouldn't make no sense to me, and it would really that would really piss me off if Cena beat him clean. And regardless of how, if it was a repeat of 2 years ago where Lesnar beats him down and then he Super Cena, that would really piss me off.
To me, that would tell me that John Cena is greater than the streak. And I'm sorry, but I don't care how much money they feel they need to make. That is ridiculous. And now listen, I'm not rooting for Brock Lesnar. I would love it if both of them lost, because I can't stand either one of them. I can't stand John Cena because he shoved down my throat, and I can't stand Brock Lesnar because he didn't have enough respect for The Undertaker to say no. So, for me...
We don't have any knowledge of what happened.
Well, for me, it really, I'm kind of when it comes to this match because, it tells me that Brock Lesnar's definitely going to have the title, and I don't know how Brock...
I don't know if he is. I don't know if he is going to leave SummerSlam with the title.
Well, I guess we'll see. I'm thinking
something screwy might happen.
I'm predicting Brock Lesnar wins the match. Who are you predicting to win?
I guess you're going to have to say that he is going to walk out of there with the belts, but I don't even know.
You don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know, only because of his contract situation.
Yeah, we don't know yet, but you know what? They may have worked something out. Another match that's going to happen at SummerSlam as of tonight, after the brutal beatdown, and I have to say, Randy Orton really impressed me tonight with that beatdown. It was vicious. It was violent. Tonight, the WWE turned up the voltage a bit, and now if they did this a little bit more throughout the year, the programs would be taken more seriously.
You said that was vintage Orton tonight?
I wouldn't say it was vintage Orton. I would say this was a better version of Randy Orton, where he was vicious, he was relentless, he did not stop until Roman Reigns was completely taken out. And now that is the Randy Orton that I like to see. I was a big Randy Orton.
You know what that means? That means Roman Reigns is going to beat him at SummerSlam.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way Roman Reigns is losing to Randy Orton. But that's what guys from Randy Orton's generation need to do. They need to put over the young guys. I was saying this earlier on the page that, you know, guys from that era, their jobs right now is to build the future, not to collect titles and victories for themselves. They had their time. Guys like Randy Orton, Triple H, John Cena, Batista, Brock Lesnar, their job right now is to make the next generation look good. That's my philosophy, because they may be making a lot of money now off of those stars, but 5-10 years from now, those guys aren't going to be in the top spots. So they need to make up for those missing spots by creating new stars in their place. Now, I'm going with Roman Reigns to win this match with Randy Orton. There's no way Roman Reigns is losing. He's, as of right now, it is apparent that he's the new golden-haired boy that's going to take John Cena's place at one point. I personally don't know for sure if he's going to main event WrestleMania, because it's July. A lot can happen from now until then, and I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bother saying yes, 1,000% Roman Reigns is main eventing. I'll believe. We'll have to be into that. You know, we'll have to get into that time of year. But who are you picking to win this match?
Yeah, I can't see Roman Reigns losing clean to Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, all these guys that you mentioned, the older generation, their job right now is to have great matches with the new stars. You know, and that's a win-win for everybody. You know,
absolutely.
Nobody really remembers the wins and losses. The fans remember great matches. You know,
that's debatable, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's their job right now. These guys that you mentioned, they're all paid very handsomely. You know,
absolutely, they are.
They've had their time at the top spot. They've held every title you could think of. So their job now is to have and bring out the best in the new stars, and to have great, entertaining matches, memorable matches with the new stars.
Absolutely. And another match that's finally going to happen at SummerSlam is going to be Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, and that is a match that I am looking forward to seeing. I really am.
Of course. They, like you said earlier, they'll probably steal the show. You know,
wouldn't surprise me.
The last few years, the members of all matches with members of the Shield have almost stolen every pay-per-view.
Absolutely. The match that they had against the two matches they had against Evolution were match of the year candidates. The match they had with the Wyatts on Elimination Chamber was a match of the year candidate. The Shield and I'm still going to refer to them as the Shield, all three of them, because I talk about all three of them because they're all great. I think that they are proof. Yes, they are money, without question. I would love it if all three of them were in a triple threat match for the world title at WrestleMania. I think that would be great.
Yeah, maybe you know what? Maybe they'll do it. You never know. You could do a triple threat match with them for the Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania.
Hey, all things are possible with them. I think that if you put those three together, they'll create magic. I think they're great. Now, as of this moment, no other matches are scheduled for SummerSlam, with the exception of the match we just saw made at the end of Raw, which was Brie Bella versus Stephanie. I don't think there's any question Triple H will be in Stephanie's corner. Daniel Bryan will be in Brie's corner.
I wanted to talk about that. I thought that was a very entertaining segment. You know, it's different. You know, it's different from.
No, it is different. But I don't think that Brie Bella has carried the promos exactly as she should. I mean, if I'm Brie Bella, this is how I would carry it over. You've been screwing with my husband since last year. You've never given him a fair shot. He had to take it on his own. You've done nothing but disrespect him, and by disrespecting him, you're disrespecting me. Now I'm finally going to do what I should have did a long time ago, and that's kick your ass.
Now, do you think they're doing this angle as a way to sort of keep Daniel Bryan's name in the mix?
Absolutely, and it's a smart move. I think that, you know, I'm not really worried about Daniel Bryan's popularity. I'm not worried about it one bit. The guy got over organically, which means that his popularity is not going to go away. I think that it'll be just like when Austin came back from the the neck injury, when he comes back, it's going to be a big ovation, and he's still going to have the same popularity he had before. And that's where I say, don't be too surprised if Daniel Bryan sneaks in that Rumble and wins it, because I'm calling it right now. You heard it here first. Daniel Bryan's going to enter the Royal Rumble, and he's going to challenge the Beast, and he's going to beat him.
Well, I think what we should be worried about is health. I mean,
no, I say let him take all the time off he needs. If he's got to be out till past WrestleMania, go ahead. Listen, my father's got C4 and C5 screwed up in his neck. I would much rather him take all the time he needs to heal up and come back at 100%. Hey,
if he can, I mean, you hear these like really pessimistic reports online and
listen. I don't believe any of the dirt sheets. I don't read them anymore. I listen to my 1 or 2 podcasts, and that's it, Frank. I don't buy any of them. You know how many times I heard reports that The Undertaker was in terrible shape going into February, and yet he was there getting ready to go to WrestleMania? They will do anything to keep surprises in the fold. And you want to know something? I don't blame them. Because could you imagine, you're going to the Royal Rumble, believing 150% that Daniel Bryan's going to be on the shelf for at least half the year in 2015. And then he comes out at number 30 and wins the Rumble. How shocked are you going to be?
The crowd will go apeshit.
The crowd will go apeshit, but how would you react to it?
Oh, yeah, I would pop for that. But listen, I mean, we got to...
I would, listen, this is where I stand with the whole situation. I want him to take as much time as he needs to heal himself. And if he is ready by then, I could totally see him sneaking in, winning the Rumble, and then challenging Brock Lesnar, because that was supposed to be the SummerSlam match. And just think, wouldn't you much rather see Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania than at SummerSlam? The match itself would be a masterpiece.
It would be good. It would be very good.
It would be amazing. Now, I don't see Brock Lesnar tapping out to the guy. I'm sorry. As much as I love Daniel Bryan, I don't see Brock Lesnar submitting to the GOAT. But I can see Daniel Bryan hitting him with a knee. Brock is staggered, and then he hits him with another one for good measure, and then that's it. Now, for me, that would be a victory, because my new hero beats the guy that destroyed my old hero. So for me personally, I would love that. But you want to know what? As long as Bryan's used properly going into WrestleMania, if he does come back, I'll be content. The guy won at WrestleMania in the main event. He's immortalized from that. It'll never be forgotten, because that was something that fans wanted. So
yeah, I'm glad. It's good that he did get his moment, and he is.
And he's still popular. At Money in the Bank, you were in my home. He got the biggest ovation out of anyone, and he wasn't even on the pay-per-view.
But this is what needs to be considered. I mean, let's say whenever he does come back, when and if he does come back, is he going to be the same? Is he going to be?
Listen, Daniel Bryan's had injuries in the past that were extremely debilitating. I've heard some of the injuries he had. You know, he's no stranger to that. Injuries come with the game. I have no doubt he'll be fine. You know, maybe I just have unwavering faith in the guy.
I'm saying, but will he be in a capacity to go back and have the run with the belt? You know?
I have no doubt that he will. I have no doubt that he will. Something's telling me we have not seen the last of this phenomenon. This is something.
I don't think we've seen the last of him, but.
The phenomenon, which is his popularity, I don't think it's going away, Frank. Something's telling me, that guy could be away for a while, and when he does come back, it will be a shock, and it will be something that people will be talking about, and they will be running to get to the next show to see what he has to say. I have that feeling.
It all comes down to the ring,
Absolutely, and I think that Daniel Bryan, when he gets back in that ring, he gets going. He reminds me in some ways of The Undertaker, and I'll explain why. And I know that they're complete opposites as far as size and character. They both love the business. They both don't play politics. They both are company men. They both wrestle hurt. They both do whatever they're told, and they're both guys that have earned the respect of their peers. And I believe that much like The Undertaker, when Bryan comes back, he'll get in that ring, and it'll be like he never missed a beat. He strikes me. He strikes me as that kind of wrestler.
I hope you're right, and that would fit into his character. The underdog, overcoming odds, and
he overcomes the odds of a neck injury, and he comes back and wins the title. That's a great story. I'll tell you, I'll be buying his book that comes out in the spring.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it would fit perfectly with his
It actually enhances his character, believe it or not, Frank.
Oh yeah, the legend old girl.
And you want to know what's funny? I think this injury saved him in a way because his title reign, as you said, was kind of mediocre because of the booking that they gave him. Maybe this injury is going to save him because he got away from the terrible booking with Kane. Don't you think?
Yeah, well, yeah. Who knows what would have happened then?
There's no way to predict, but ladies and gentlemen, Frank and I will be back with our next time where we will be discussing TNA's dwindling future and the WWE Network not getting over so well. We'll be right back.